Welcome. I just got done with the gym and filling up my car up with gas and picking up packages from like the Amazon hub that our apartment complex has. And I thought I would just start the vlog off here because I'm trying to remember to vlog from home. I am on our new dining table. I say new, we bought it used. It was like almost 100 years old, which is my favorite part about it. And I sanded it down, I repainted it, like we completely redid it. The chairs we bought for this table, I'll show a clip afterwards. The chairs we bought for this table were also redone antique chairs. They don't really fit perfectly because they're a little small, but they were only $50, so that's just what's gonna work for now. I'm trying to buy everything for our home like antique, like used. Not only is it more affordable, but older furniture was made better. Like nowadays, everything that's like affordable furniture is made with that, like, it's not corkboard. I don't know what the term is for, but it's like wood chips just like plastered together. Like, you know, the IKEA furniture, which, like, don't get me wrong, everything in here used to be IKEA. Especially when we're first moving in together, which was quite some time ago, because we obviously had no money, so you're buying what's cheap. But anyway, now we're trying to have lasting furniture. So this is from Barnes & Noble. I pre-ordered this. Oh, this is so good. This is Masters of Death by Olivia Blake. I have read quite a few other books from Olivia Blake. I have read Alone with You in the Ether, which I read like a month ago. I loved it. I read, gosh, what was the one that was like a retelling of Romeo and Juliet, but like different? Loved it. I read the Atlas 6 series 1 and 2. The third one comes out like, I think, January. Olivia Blake has like a huge backlist because she indie published all of her books. And now that like the Atlas 6 did so well a few years ago, like all of these are getting reprinted and republished. So I haven't read the original, but I'm so excited for this one. And I think it's, oh my gosh. There's like really cool artwork on the inside. Like, I'm obsessed. It's called One for My Enemy, by the way. It's actually right there. One for My Enemy. I loved that book too. I also loved that one. I thought this was maybe a signed copy, but it's not. And that's okay. But I am excited to read this. I'm very excited to read this. This is an Amazon package, which should be like these small little, yeah, that was a pen, glasses for this table actually. I'm only gonna use like 2 of them for this table, but it matches the aesthetic of the rest of my space. It's just, there are 6 of these. I couldn't buy just 1 or 2, I had to buy 6. And I kind of wanna create like this old antique-y, almost like, not witchy, but like gothic-y, Victorian centerpiece kind of thing. This table is not very big, it's only 3 by 3. It is a table that should have had a leaf for the middle to make it bigger, but they didn't give it to us, so I don't know if they even had one. But yeah, just 6 of these. So yeah, I can use like 2 on here, and then I have so many other places in my apartment that I can use these. I got more work uniforms because every year we get replenished with like 300 points, which is basically dollars, because they want you to like refresh your uniforms. I just got more of the mock neck purple sweaters that I wear almost all the time. And then I got 3 of those, yes. And then I got 1 pants, 1 vest. That's the uniform haul, the work uniform haul. And the last thing Murphy was sitting on. I'm really excited about this. This is from the brand Merit Beauty. I've talked about them a little bit on my channel because I have worked with them before. I do have a link for their website, put in the description box down below. They have a new product, which I'm very excited about. This is called the Solo Shadow. It's a matte eye color. If you know anything about my channel, it used to be a beauty channel back in the day, which is kind of where I gained the momentum originally, like quite a few years ago at this point. That was like all the rage. And I still love beauty products. Obviously, I still love makeup. I just don't do eyeshadow very much anymore. If I do, it's just like a single wash of color. And I have a few products that I love that I just do that wash of color with, or I'll do like a highlighter. But I love like the ease of something like this. So this is the Solo Shadow. It's a matte eye color. And I think they had like 3 shimmers. But then they also have like 5 or 6 nudes that are kind of supposed to like complement a huge range of skin tones. I got the shade Bishara. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. And then this is the brush that goes with it. This is called the brush number 2. It's an eyeshadow brush, obviously. I will use this later. I need to wash my face and shower before I go to work tonight, because that's the other thing. I do go to work tonight. I feel like this is gonna be such a gorgeous color to complement my eye color because it's like slightly warm, but it's almost like a clay. It like kind of reminds me of a clay color. I will use this later on and let you guys know how it goes. I'm really excited about this, but yes, they did send this to me. This is not a sponsorship, they just sent this to me, so I'm excited to use it and tell you guys how I feel about it. But I do have that link down below. I know a few of you have purchased from it, and that is like the kindest thing in the whole world. Like truly, 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 you don't understand. Not only do I get like a small commission from it, obviously, but also it just makes me happy. I would never talk about a brand or a product that I didn't like. And obviously I'm not somebody who's doing sponsorships like all the time or, you know, anything like that. So I do appreciate it when you guys want to try something that I recommend or something like that. So I'll let you know how it goes. It's 6:07. Sam will be home shortly. We're actually bleaching his hair tonight. Yes, I do his hair. Sometimes I have Kira, my sister, help me, but she is not in town right now. So I will be doing it by myself. We've been doing it for him for like 2 years now, I think, how long we've been doing it for him. But he's been getting his hair bleached for like 3 years or more now. He loves it. And then I have to throw things into my suitcase to go to work. I work a red eye to Baltimore, and then we have a short layover during the day. It's like an 11-hour layover or something. And then we work 2 legs tomorrow, which is Baltimore to Atlanta, Atlanta back to Baltimore. So it's a double Baltimore, both of them are short layovers. And then on day 3, we go Baltimore to Detroit, which I think is a short flight. I don't think there's like meals in first class. I think it's less than 900 miles, not 100% sure. And then we go Detroit to Vegas, which is obviously a little longer. There will be meals in first class. And then we do Vegas to Salt Lake. So it's a really short flight, obviously. So I think this is a fairly easy trip. It's not like super high time, but it's not super low time either. It's worth like a little, it's like 16 and a half hours or something like that of credit, which is decent. And I wanted something really easy after the disaster of the last trip, which if you watched the last vlog, you would have heard about it. So it was a disaster. It was the worst trip I've ever had. But anyway, Sam, I can see out the window. He just parked. So it's time to go. This is the table. It's this old antique table, and I love it. I love how it's like kind of gothic-y almost. And it's not a design that you would be able to find like anywhere anytime soon, you know what I mean? So that's why I love it. I do wish we had the leaf for it. It'll still last for us for a long time even without the leaf. Hello. So this is actually day 2. These were both minimum rest layovers, and most certainly when I was done with the red eye, I didn't have it in me to film anything. Today was day 3 of this 3-day trip. We were supposed to go Baltimore to Detroit, Detroit to Vegas, Vegas to Salt Lake. We were supposed to be released. Ooh, that was a lot. We were supposed to be released at around like 10 p.m. tonight, and actually a little later, maybe like almost 11 p.m. And instead, now we have had a couple of delays leaving Baltimore. We were supposed to, what time is it? To 1:25. We were supposed to basically have probably already gotten to Detroit at this time. We had a 2-hour delay and then another 30-minute delay. And so because of that, they took us off the Detroit to Vegas and Vegas to Salt Lake, and now we're just supposed to deadhead back to Salt Lake from Detroit. So just working one leg today, as long as we're not rerouted or anything like that. Can't complain too much, honestly. That sounds really nice to me, especially after the minimum rest layovers. I'm not feeling 100%, you know what I mean? And I work a lot of red eyes, but something about that red eye, I have not recovered. So yeah, yesterday we just went Baltimore to Atlanta, Atlanta back up to Baltimore, same hotel. Not gonna lie, this hotel is does not have the vibes that I would like. Does not have the vibes. I have a really nice crew. 2 of my crew members had seen my videos, which was so nice. And I ran into a gate agent in Baltimore, I wish I got her name, who had also seen my videos. So that is so amazing. I wish I had gotten that gay agent's name. It was like at 12:30 last night, and she was so sweet, but we were just like all over the place. But my two crew members, Gabriella, I think she goes by Gabby, but Gabriella and Robert, they had seen my videos, and so that made me feel really cool. Like, I don't know, it's just so special. I don't have a lot of updates for this trip. I feel like this trip has been kind of all over the place, but at the same time, it's like a really straightforward, easy trip. So don't ask me how that makes any sense, because it doesn't. Maybe it's just because my brain has been all over the place, but I can't complain. I was supposed to have one meal today on my flights, one meal for my first class passengers, and it was supposed to be it was supposed to be Detroit to Vegas, and that was the only meal of this entire 3-day trip. But now we're not working that flight, so now no meals again, unless we get rerouted. No meals for this trip, so I really love the sound of that. Some flight attendants hate meals. I don't hate meals, they're just obviously extra work. I don't really mind serving them though, like it's not a big deal, but it is just added, it's just added work basically. And if it's hot in the plane and you're working right next to the ovens, you know, constantly opening them to pull out the meals, obviously you just get even more hot. We only get meals on board if the flight is 900 miles or further, like longer. And I prefer longer flights anyways, because it kind of gives you time to do service and then after service take a breath and take a bit of a break. I do prefer those longer flights with meals, but obviously again, serving a meal is just a little bit more work. I have to be ready in like a very short amount of time. I thought I would really quickly test out this Merit matte, what is it? It's like a matte, it's solo shadow in the shade Bishara, and it looks like this. Like I was saying earlier, like a warmer clay shade with almost slight terracotta undertones. I'm just gonna take it on this brush, and I'm gonna try to not put too much at first because I do have hooded eyes. I don't want to like put too much product on to the point where it creases really heavily. I do like the idea of just an all over wash of color, because if you want to add a little bit, especially with the matte shade, if you want to add a little bit of color but you want it to look like effortless, this is the kind of product to do that with. Kind of looks like a natural shadow. These are my own words, but I feel like that's kind of what they were going for. And I do feel it drying down. It does dry down quickly, which is good for my eye shape, because like I was saying, I do have hooded eyes and like I have a really heavy crease, so almost everything creases. This is really pretty though. I'm really into it, and I really like this brush. I'm not going to put any anywhere else, but you could use this like pointy end if you wanted to like do more of a line with the eyeshadow, or if you wanted to go underneath your eyes. I gotta be downstairs soon. Ooh yeah, that's so pretty. Ooh, I really like that. Ooh, thanks Merit, I'm so excited. That was really pretty, and there's a lot of other nude shades. I'm sitting on the ground at my own apartment, packing a little bit for our trip that we leave for tomorrow. We're non-revving on, I think it's like a 3:20 p.m. flight, gets us into San Diego at like 4 something San Diego time. I think Sam's sisters are also on that flight, which will be funny to like non-rev on that flight while they're confirmed passengers. I just wanted to get on here and say hello. I was feeling a little anxious last night. I don't know why. So I actually walked from where the employee shuttle typically picks us up to take us to the employee parking lot. There's like actually a crosswalk at the Salt Lake airport. Not a crosswalk, but like a sidewalk, I guess, that takes you all the way there. It's like a 13-minute walk if you fast walk, maybe 15 or 16 if you're not as fast. And it was very nice and peaceful. It was very hot outside, so I sweat through my uniform, but nonetheless, I digress. I did then have to go to Target, and I also stopped by Barnes & Noble, and I did get 2 books. I got Picture of Dorian Gray, which I've been wanting to read for a long time. This is apparently the uncensored version, because I guess on the first printing, the publishers took out certain things that they thought were not okay for the time. So I'm very curious of this. And then I also got South of the Border, West of the Sun by Haruki Murakami, and I've heard amazing things about this author. And this is reminding me a little bit of In the Mood for Love, and like the premise of this book is reminding me of In the Mood for Love, as well as the newer A24 film that came out that was called like Past Lives. It kind of seems like an existential romance, almost like deeply emotional, and makes you question a lot of things that are going on in your life, because I think somebody comes back into the main character's life, but our main character is like married, I think, with a family. So I think I'm very intrigued by those kinds of stories. I also have all these books down here that I need to like figure out. I just finished this. This is a very short story. It's called The Yellow Wallpaper by Charlotte Perkins Gilman. Fascinating, incredible. It's very horrific in a very subtle way. Like, it doesn't get horrific till the very last page, basically. And it is fascinating. I loved this so much. I want to reread it. I underlined a bunch of things. It's about a woman in the late 1800s who is aware of the fact that she's kind of going mad, and her husband and the other characters in the book are kind of disregarding that fact. Like, you're gonna get okay, you're gonna be fine, but she's like, I am not okay. And they go to this house that they're just vacationing at, and the wallpaper starts like messing with her. Like, the design on the wallpaper starts really getting to her. It's actually a brilliant like look at the kind of internalized misogyny. Her husband is a doctor, like a physician, and he keeps telling her like she's fine, and she's like, I can't even trust the doctor husband that I have. So it's incredible. I loved this. I highly, highly, highly recommend if you like darker, more like, what's the word? Not like chaotic, but it like her thought, like you're kind of reading this as she's thinking instead of like a organized story. It's more of like just her jumbled thoughts. It's so good. It's so good. And it's only like 20 pages long, like full pages, like obviously like full pages, like bigger than a normal paperback. But yeah, it's only like 21 pages long. The other issue I have is like thinking that I need to bring 20 books with me on a vacation, and then I get around to maybe 1 or 2 of them, like maybe just 1 of them. I mean, we are going to be on the beach all day, so I might get around to a few more books than I normally would, but it's like, where do I pack that? Along with like all the extra stuff I have to bring for a beach, like camping vacation. So we'll see what I end up bringing. But anyway, I just wanted to say hello. I am packing. We don't leave for another 24 hours basically, but I wanted to get that all set up and sorted so I feel comfortable and not stressed last minute. I also just got a new tote bag for work, and I mean, it's just gonna be kind of like an everyday thing, but one of my favorite bags that I use is this Dagny Dover. This is the small Landon carry-all, and I love it, but it's the perfect size if you want like something slightly big but not too big. I would like something a little bigger than this for my day-to-day, but the bigger size of this looks huge and it looks more like a duffel, and I want like a tote. So Base, which is a company I've bought plenty of stuff from, Base by Shay Mitchell, she has this tote called the Basics tote, and it just came out like a few months ago, and I really, really want that, but it's out of stock, and they haven't announced when it's coming back in. But I'm so fed up with like my tote situation because it's just a disaster. I end up putting that Dagny Dover bag in another tote, and so I have a bag within a bag, and it just creates so much annoyingness. So I got this like sports carry-all tote. I think I'm just gonna like kind of use this as an everyday bag maybe. I mean, it's a little bit bigger and a little bit more structured than the Basics tote, which is why I want the Basics tote. But this is my new tote bag that I'm gonna bring with me to work, and I've kind of just started to organize stuff in here. The great thing about the Base brand is it's all about functionality and like pockets and organization as well. So just thought I'd share that little flight attendant new bag.